Welcome to History in a Hurry. I'm Professor Malcolm Mazer, and in this episode we will cover the history of wrestling. Wrestling, one of the oldest forms of combat, traces its origins back thousands of years and is deeply rooted in the history of human civilization, with evidence of its practice found in ancient art, literature, and archaeological discoveries. Wrestling has evolved over time, adapting to various cultures while retaining its primal appeal as a test of strength, skill, and strategy. The earliest records of wrestling date back to around 3000 BCE, with depictions found in ancient Mesopotamian, Egyptian, and Sumerian art. These early illustrations show wrestlers engaging in techniques that bear a striking resemblance to modern wrestling holds and throws, highlighting the timeless nature of the sport. Wrestling also features prominently in ancient mythology and literature, including the Epic of Gilgamesh, where it symbolizes power and heroism. In ancient Egypt, wrestling was a popular form of entertainment and military training. Reliefs from the tombs of Beni Hassan, dating back to around 2000 BCE, depict wrestlers in various holds and positions, suggesting a well-developed system of techniques. Similarly, ancient Greek wrestling, or pale, was an integral part of the Olympic Games, first held in 776 BCE. Wrestlers competed naked, emphasizing their physical form and athleticism, and matches were decided when one competitor was thrown to the ground 3 times or forced to submit. Wrestling was deeply tied to Greek ideals of physical excellence, discipline, and competition, making it a respected and celebrated sport. The Romans adopted and adapted Greek wrestling, integrating it into their own culture and military training. Roman wrestling was more structured and less brutal than its Greek counterpart, as it avoided the dangerous moves common in Greek pankration, a no-holds-barred form of combat. Wrestling became a popular spectacle in Roman arenas, though it was eventually overshadowed by gladiatorial combat as the empire grew. During the Middle Ages, wrestling remained a popular pastime and martial practice across Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. In medieval Europe, it was featured in knightly training and tournaments, blending physical skill with chivalric ideals. Wrestling also appeared in traditional folk sports, with different regions developing their own distinctive styles. In Japan, sumo wrestling emerged as a ceremonial and competitive sport tied to Shinto rituals. Its roots can be traced back over 1,500 years, and it continues to be a cultural cornerstone in Japan. The modern evolution of wrestling began in the 19th century, with the rise of organized competitions and codified rules. Catch wrestling, a hybrid style developed in England, combined elements of traditional wrestling with submission holds and pins. This style gained popularity in the United States, where it influenced the development of professional wrestling. Amateur wrestling also emerged as a sport with standardized rules, eventually becoming part of the first modern Olympic Games in Athens in 1896. Greco-Roman wrestling, one of the 2 Olympic wrestling styles, emphasizes upper body techniques, while freestyle wrestling, introduced later, allows attacks on the entire body. American folk-style wrestling, also known as collegiate wrestling, is a uniquely American form of the sport practiced primarily in high schools and colleges across the United States. Rooted in catch wrestling and traditional grappling styles, folk style emphasizes control, pinning, and scoring through takedowns, escapes, and reversals. Matches consist of 3 periods, during which wrestlers aim to accumulate points or secure a pin to win outright. Unlike freestyle or Greco-Roman wrestling, folk style places greater emphasis on maintaining control over an opponent. This style fosters discipline, strength, and strategic thinking, making it a cornerstone of American athletic programs and a pathway to Olympic wrestling. Professional wrestling, initially a legitimate contest, evolved into a form of theatrical entertainment in the early 20th century. Promoters and performers introduced scripted storylines, colorful characters, and choreographed moves to entertain audiences. The rise of television in the mid-20th century transformed professional wrestling into a global phenomenon, with organizations like the World Wrestling Federation, now WWE, and later All Elite Wrestling, AEW, captivating millions of fans worldwide. Stars such as Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and John Cena became household names, blending athleticism with showmanship. Meanwhile, traditional and folk wrestling styles continued to thrive around the world. Indian Kushti, practiced in mud pits, remains a revered tradition with roots in ancient Indian culture. Mongolian wrestling, or Bok, is a highlight of the country's Nadam festival, symbolizing strength and endurance. Turkish oil wrestling, known as Yagli Gurs, features wrestlers doused in olive oil, a practice dating back to Ottoman times. These styles, steeped in history and cultural significance, highlight wrestling's universal appeal and adaptability. Wrestling's role in modern sports extends beyond competition and entertainment. It is a cornerstone of mixed martial arts, MMA, where wrestlers often excel due to their grappling and takedown skills. Wrestlers such as Khabib Nurmagomedov and Daniel Cormier have achieved great success in MMA, showcasing the effectiveness of wrestling in combat sports. Despite its global popularity, wrestling has faced challenges, particularly in the realm of amateur competition. In 2013, the International Olympic Committee controversially voted to remove wrestling from the Olympic program, citing declining viewership and relevance. However, a global outcry from fans and athletes led to its reinstatement for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, highlighting the sport's enduring importance and passionate following. In conclusion, wrestling's history is a testament to its universal appeal and adaptability. From its ancient roots as a test of physical prowess to its modern incarnations as a sport, art form, and entertainment medium, wrestling continues to captivate and inspire. Its legacy is not just one of competition, but of cultural expression, resilience, and the enduring human spirit. Thanks for racing through history with us on History in a Hurry. If you enjoyed today's quick dive into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a fast-paced trip through time. Please reply in the comments with ideas for our next history lesson. See you in the next one.